Hi, hello, welcome to today's session. Today we will be discussing about Apache Sqoop. So Apache Sqoop is an open source tool which is developed by Cloudera. It is used to move the data in and out of Hadoop. Okay, for example, you can import your data from any relational database into Hadoop Distributed File System, or you can export the data from Hadoop Distributed File System to any relational database. So this tool makes the data ingestion very easy for us. Okay, so in today's session, we are going to see how to import data from a relational database. So we are going to take MySQL as an example, and we're going to import the data into Hadoop Distributed File System. So here we are going to take Hive as an example. So moving the data from MySQL to Hive. So a relational database to Hadoop Distributed File System. Okay, so we will be working example for both import as well as export command. So let's get into the session. So I will open a new terminal. So let me log into MySQL. So U stands for the username. So username is root and the password is Cloudera. So we have logged into MySQL. So here we are going to create a database. So let me give the name of the database is today. The database is created. Now we will create a table called, we have to use this database, okay? We have to set this database. So we will write use today. So if you forgot to do this, your table will be created in the default database, okay? Now we will create the table. We finished creating the table. Now we will insert some rows into the table. So I forgot to write values. Okay, finish inserting one row. Then we will insert the second row. We'll insert the third row. Okay, now let's check the table. Select star from student. Okay, so this is a table. Now this table we have to import into Hadoop Distributed File System. Okay, so we will just get out of MySQL now. So I will press Ctrl D to get out of MySQL. So very important thing, if you want to do import and export, we have to set the accumulation home. So what is this actually? We have to set the path for all the libraries, configuration files that is used for import and export. Okay, so we have to create a path and then set the accumulation home in order to do the import and export. Okay, so that path will have all the library files, all the configuration files that is required to do the import and export. So that is a major step. So if you don't set the accumulation home, then you cannot do the import and export. So let's make a directory. The path of the directory is where/lib/accumulo. Okay, then we have to set the path for the accumulo home. Okay, the same path I will set it for the accumulo home. Okay, then we have to do export accumulo. Okay, so done. Now we will log into Hive and just create a table alone, and the data will be loaded into that table using the Sqoop. Okay, so let's log into Hive. I will type Hive. Okay, so now here let me create a database. Let me create the database name as today also here. Create the table. We have to use the database. And then create the table student. Student ID is integer. Student name is varchar. And then we have marks. Same table, okay? The table is created. Now the table, we did not insert any data into the table. The table is empty, right? Now we get out of Hive by pressing Ctrl D. Okay. Now here you have to execute the sqoop command. So let me execute the sqoop command. Sqoop import. Okay. Import. So for import, we need the name of the driver. Okay, so what driver we are going to use? We will be using JDBC driver for relational database. Okay, so I have to write the driver name -connect. Okay, what is the name of the driver? JDBC. Okay, and what is the name of the database? MySQL. And you have to give the IP address of this MySQL. Okay, this is a process ID, process ID, and the name of the database that you have created in MySQL. The name of the database is today. Okay, and the username to connect with MySQL. Okay, then password to connect with MySQL. Okay, then the table name. Which table you want to import? What is the name of the table? The name of the table is student. All right. Now where you have to import? You have to import into Hive, right? So you have to specify Hive import. Okay. And what is the name of the Hive table? Hive table. Okay. Name of the Hive table is again student only. But what is the name of the database? So you have to write today.student. Okay. And how many map tasks you want to create? So just we will tell we want to create only one map task. So you can see when you submit the import, automatically it is converted into MapReduce task. So for importing the data using Sqoop, you need only the map task. Okay, so by default 4 map tasks will be created, but here we have given the number of map tasks as 1. So by default 4 map tasks will be created, and each map task will be responsible to load 25% of data into the table. Okay, so this should be your output. Okay, so here you can see loading data into the table today.student. Okay, and it tells how many total size of the file. So it should be like this. Okay, so now to verify that the load has happened correctly, now log into Hive to check whether your table is loaded with the data. Okay, so select Hive. Okay, now here I will use the database today. The name of the database is today. Now I'll give select star from student. Here you can see the table. Yes, initially we didn't have any data into the table. Now we did the import from MySQL to Hive. Okay. So next we will see how to do export. Okay, from MySQL, from Hive to MySQL. Okay, so the example that we saw now is from MySQL to Hive. So now we will see an example for Hive to MySQL. Okay. Yes. So from Hive to MySQL, right? So we will create a table in Hive. So the name of the database is today only. So here we will create another table. So we are going to create a department table where department ID is integer, then department name is varchar, okay, and maybe location. Okay, so this is in Hive, so you have to write row format, delimited fields, terminated by comma. Okay, the table is created. Now we will insert data into Hive. So wherever you have varchar, you have to use codes to enter the data. So for every insert, you can see it will be converted into a MapReduce task, okay, to insert the value, because we are working with Hadoop. Okay, so in Hadoop, you know, everything is done with the help of MapReduce task, right? So the insert of Hive will be little different because it is converted into MapReduce job. So we finish inserting the first row. So we will insert one more row. So we are creating a new table in Hive, and we are going to import this table to MySQL. So now let's select the table. Okay, so here you have two rows. Now what we are going to do, we are going to export this table to, so we have a table in Hadoop Distributed File System. Now we want to export this table to our relational database. Okay, so we will come out of Hive, press Ctrl D. Already accumulation home is set, right? So we will log into MySQL. So just I will log into MySQL. Now here I will use the same database. So here I will create the same table. Okay, so you should be very careful when you write the name of the table, name of the database. Okay, so because in the import you have to give the correct names. Okay, department ID, integer, department name, varchar 30, then I have location. Just I will create the table. Okay, the table is created. Now we are going to export. Okay, so just come out of, see the table is empty. So just come out of MySQL, press Ctrl D. Okay, now we are going to execute the sqoop export command. Okay, so sqoop export. Okay, so hyphen connect, you have to specify the name of the connector. We are using MySQL relational database, so it should be JDBC. The name of the database we are going to export to MySQL. Okay, and then the IP address, the process ID of MySQL, then the name of the database. Name of the database is today. Username will be root to connect to MySQL. Then password will be Cloudera. The table name will be department. Okay, then you have to use export. Okay, export -dir. So from where you want to export? From the Hive, right? So when you create a table in Hive, the table will be stored in a directory. Let me show you the directory. First I will type the path where the table will be stored. The table will be stored in user/hive/warehouse/hive db dot the name of the database. Okay, name of the database is today slash the name of the table is department. Okay, so when you create a table in Hive, the table will be automatically stored in this directory. So let me show you this directory. I will open a new terminal. Okay, so here it is Hadoop Distributed File System, right? So you have to use the Hadoop commands HDFS, DFS, okay, -ls. Okay, I'm going to see the content of this folder. So just to show you where the table will be stored. So user slash, okay, when you create table in Hive, automatically it will be stored here. Okay, so user/hive/warehouse, okay, /hive db dot today. Okay, so just I will give this one. Okay. Sorry, this is I'm sorry, I made a mistake here. This is today dot db. Yeah, so see here, when I give this one, you can see there are two tables are available. One is department and then student. So all the tables that is created in Hive will be stored in this directory. So I'm just take this directory and I'm going to directly import into my MySQL. Okay, so here, so I told there is a mistake here. So here I have to give the name of the database today. Okay, today.db. Okay, from today.db I have to take department. Okay, there are two tables in today, so I will take only the department table. Department, then how many map task you want to create? I will just create only one map task. Okay, and I have to write input fields terminated by comma. Okay, so you can see automatically the export command is converted into MapReduce job, and the number of mappers we have created is only one mapper. Okay, so this is to export. So we got the output exported to records. So let's make sure whether the export is done correctly. So come out of, okay, sorry, we have to log into MySQL. Okay, then use the name of the database. Okay, then give select star from department. So you can see the data here. Okay, so we successfully did the import as well as the export. Okay, now there is another option. So what we did here in the Hive, we created a table, we load the data into the table and move that into MySQL. So suppose if you have a file, okay, if you have a file in Hadoop Distributed File System, from the file I want to directly load into the MySQL database, that also can be done. Okay, so I will repeat again. So we have a file, okay, in Hadoop Distributed File System with the data. So okay, we have a file with the data. I can directly import that data into, directly export the data into MySQL. Okay, the same thing what we have done previously. We are going to see export only, but not from the table, from the file. Okay, so for this, let me show you a file. See, I have a folder called as repo. So in this file I have DPT. okay, a department table. So here you have department ID, the name of the subject, and the hours. Okay, so what I'm going to do, so this is a this is a file. Now this file I'm going to put it into Hadoop Distributed File System. Now from this file I'm going to directly export the data to MySQL. Okay, so for this let me store this file inside the Hadoop Distributed File System. Okay, so what is the name of the folder? The name of the folder is repo. So here I will open devices, shared folder setting, okay, machine folder, click add. Okay, I will select the path of the folder that I want to transfer into my local drive. Okay, so the folder is in Windows operating system. Now I'm going to transfer that folder to my local drive. Okay, so select the folder that you want to transfer. Okay, so in the desktop the folder name is repo. Okay, select this folder and click auto mount and make permanent and click OK. Okay, now I will come out of MySQL, Control D. I have to log in as a root user. So type SU, password will be Cloudera. Sorry. Cloudera. Okay, so now you are inside the root user. Now let's make a directory. Okay, so there is a folder called as repo. The same folder I am going to copy into a folder in local drive. So I have to create a folder in the local drive. So I will write mkdir. Okay, let me create the same folder, repo. Okay. Now I have to execute mount command. So I'll write mount -t vbox sf. Okay, what is the name of the shared folder? Okay, the shared folder name is repo, right? And where you want to copy? In your local drive. In your local drive also you created a folder called as repo, but the full path, you have to give the full path. The full path is home/cloudera/repo. Okay, so mount is over. So suppose if you are very confused with the path here, you can just type pwd to check the path. See the path, home/cloudera. Inside that you created a folder called as repo. So you have to give the path. So this is your shared folder name. This is the path. This is the folder that you created in your local drive. Okay, so now let's go to repo and check whether the file is created. Just give ls. See, the file is transferred. So now your department file is inside your local drive. But we want this file inside our Hadoop distributed file system. So the same steps, what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a folder called as repo in Hadoop distributed file system, and I'm going to copy this file into that folder. Okay. So since it is a Hadoop distributed file system, we have to use Hadoop commands. So HDFS, DFS, I'm going to create a folder. See, so it should be very careful. You moved your folder from Windows to local drive. Now from local drive, I'm going to move it to Hadoop distributed file system. So I'll create a directory. /repo. So where you are creating this one? In Hadoop distributed file system. Okay, so now I'm going to copy the file department.txt from local to Hadoop distributed file system. So I will write the Hadoop command HDFS DFS copy from local. Okay, local. So give me the path of the local. So what is the path of the local? home/cloudera/repo/dpt.txt. Okay, from this I'm going to copy to my, so there should be a space actually. So because this is the source where you have your data, then there should be a space and then write the destination. So where you want to copy? I want to copy into my Hadoop distributed file system. So in Hadoop distributed file system, I created a folder called as repo. Okay, press enter. Yeah, it's finished copying. Now we have to check whether it is really copied. So I have to write the ls command. HDFS DFS -ls. I have to give the path. to check the file is really copied. Yes, the file is really copied. So now we have a file in Hadoop Distributed File System, right? So we are going to load the content of this file directly into the relational database. Okay, so we are going to use MySQL. So we will press Ctrl D to exit out of this one, and here I will enter into my MySQL. Okay, so here I will use the same database, use today. Okay, so I'll create the table, create table dpt. Okay, we have 3 columns. One is ID column, which is integer. Then we have subject column, that is varchar. Then the last one we have the hours column, that is integer. Okay, so we created the table. Now we are going to load the data from the file into the MySQL. So exit out of MySQL. Now here you have to execute the export command. Okay, the export is from the file directly, not from the table. So sqoop export. Okay, connect, you're going to use JDBC. Okay, the name of the database is MySQL. The commands are very similar. Okay, you have to give the IP address, process ID, the name of the database is today. Okay, username is root, password is Cloudera, and in which table you want to import. You want to import to the table dpt, right? Dpt. Okay, then you have to give the export directory. Okay, export directory, specify the directory name. There you gave the path where the Hive tables will be stored, right? In the previous example, here you have to give the path of your Hadoop distributed file system. So in Hadoop distributed file system, we created a folder called as repo. Inside repo we have dpt.txt. Okay, okay, there is an error. Argument. Okay, let's check the sqoop command. Sqoop export connect JDBC MySQL. Yeah, username, the spelling is wrong for the username. It's username. Okay, so username is root, password is Cloudera, table name is dpt, export directory is repo/dpt.txt. Okay, so this is export from file to relational database. Okay, so for all the export you have to give the export directory only. Okay, because you're not export directory only. Okay, so in Hive all the tables will be stored in that path. By default it will be stored in that path. Okay, and here we created a path in Hadoop distributed file system and we stored a file, so we have to give that path here. So for export you have to give export dir. Okay, yeah, so it has exported 4 records. Now how will you make sure? You have to go to MySQL, use the database. Now select star from, the name of the table is dpt. See, the rows are inserted. Okay, so in today's session we saw 3 examples. One is import. Okay, importing data from MySQL to Hive. Then we saw export, exporting data from Hive to MySQL, and also from Hadoop distributed file system, from files to MySQL. Okay, we saw 3 examples. Hope you understood the session. Thank you for listening. Bye.